This episode is brought to you by Arlon Graphics, trusted for innovative high-performance cast vinyls. Check out their newest product, DPF V9500, a non-PVC polyurethane wall film built to tackle ultra-textured surfaces like a pro. More exciting new products to come soon from Arlon. Check them all out at onesco.com.
What's your viewership up to?
Like 9.
Really? Wow.
9.5.
Yeah.
9.5 people.
Well, it's really only 4 because 5 watch it on here.
Yeah. Not counting us 3, there's 4 of us. Counting us 3, I mean, there's 4 of us.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, I watch it twice.
It's usually us 3 and whoever else was on watch it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 74 of the Slightly Serious Sign podcast. We have a returning guest coming back.
That's right.
Well, I'm glad you guys were desperate, needed someone, and I was available.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Well, the problem was we just kept looking over you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, the new setup allows me to get higher.
I hear short jokes all the time.
I know, right? I mean, it's just, it's okay.
It's funny.
Funny, haha.
Yep, funny, haha.
Yeah, for my social media.
My gosh. Love the faces.
It's out of control. So anyway, Scott Cutcher, thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you coming. For anyone that hasn't heard this before, no, he just wants the mic to be closer to you.
Yeah, you got to be like,
not quite that close, but pretty close.
There you go.
You sound great
Gotcha.
now.
All right.
He was on episode 27 before, so it's been almost a year, which makes sense because I think it was like the last meeting that we did is when you were here, so this kind of works out.
Yeah.
So apparently this is my
slot.
return.
The only time you ever
I got a
decided to come
slot.
see us. I did put my Scott Cutcher glasses on today.
Well, I appreciate that. Everything looks.
I can't see you guys.
Everything looks taller.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
I can see my phone right now, but there's no chance I can see if you guys are looking at me.
Well, you know what? I look better that way. I look much better that way.
The camera can definitely see your eyes with those glasses on. Let me tell you.
I'm over here.
Where are you?
Where are you?
Yeah, it's hard to tell the difference between the minion sitting on the desk and you looking at that
That's
camera.
kind of the goggles he needs.
It's right here. So, anyways, for those of you that
You know, right now, every viewer that viewed in is like, I'm out. I can't.
Yeah.
For those of you that just feel like you just jumped into the wildest intro to the podcast ever, we literally were dying laughing and then just immediately did the intro, and now we're here. So,
Well, I'm just glad homie's got his Coke. That's all I care about.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, homie.
Absolutely.
That's right, homie.
I don't understand.
Homie.
I have a question. Do you think that is working?
No.
No.
The other one is bro and sis and partner.
So the
and
last ones used to be names. Then, like, at least you were.
I like the names, but I never could find mine.
You're at least looking for one.
No, all generic.
You have to
Mike.
look on the, listen,
Yeah.
you got to look on the Mexican Coke. They didn't put,
Yeah, they should have it.
I knew exactly where
They
he was
wouldn't have
going.
Miguel. Oh, they do.
Miguel,
Jose.
Domingo,
Yeah.
Jose.
Yeah.
Tyler.
It sounded so good.
Scotty.
Rico.
We're losing some
Yeah,
viewership
Rico
on this one.
Suave.
I do not know.
Yeah,
what
where's
is
my
happening.
Rico Suave on this one?
I don't know what's
Ay,
happening.
papi.
I'm right here.
Tyler, you're supposed to be in charge of bringing this back together.
I
Oh,
tried
sorry.
twice. There's no hope for us.
It's only 100 degrees in here, so.
Well, if you listen closely, you hear
Circus show.
welcome. We have midgets and a strong man.
So
I was going to say one more thing because we had to beep it out. A waterhead over here.
Oh, my goodness. All right, let's get serious here.
So today, we should have just turned off the blue LEDs on our sign. Welcome to the Slightly Serious podcast, as Domingo wanted this to be.
No, he wanted us to be the. Oh yeah, he did. Slightly Serious podcast. He didn't want nothing in
We don't have
signs.
sign.
Yeah.
So I'll
We don't
at
need
least get through
stinking
all my
sign.
questions because similar.
All one of them.
So similar to the last episode we did, it worked out great.
Last
so that's
time.
why I figured now this is my new thing, right? Rather than write out the question, I'm just going to have none.
But the last episode, we didn't have Domingo messing us up.
That is true.
Hey, leave homie out of it.
That's right.
Sorry.
So this is a question we already asked you, but we'll let you
I don't
answer
like
it again.
seeing that you guys are looking at me. Put my glasses back on so I can't see you.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see.
See you next time. Hey.
So can you just give us who are you, how long you've been in the industry, what your current role is, what you've been up to in the last 47 episodes or 48 episodes that we've done?
My gosh, things are changing so rapidly in our industry. That's a loaded question, first of all. But my name is Scott Cutcher. I'm with Kor Visual Group, and we're an independent agency. And I say agency because we're not just a sales rep group. We are doing more and more with content and helping people understand their own products and how to get it, packaged in such a way that the industry will understand it and want to consume it. So that's why we're a little different. I represent France and Excelart and several other brands. And, we've just been busy helping those guys kind of capitalize on all the shifts, quite frankly. It's been a lot going on. Oh, my gosh. Where do we start? I mean, tariffs. Whew. That's kind of been my whole life since everything started at the beginning of the year.
That's had an impact on the LED business, is what you're saying?
Well, we've been able to mitigate quite a bit. France, one of the things they've done really well that I'm very impressed with, they move very quickly, not like the old France. And it's not a dig on France by any means, but they'll tell you themselves 20 years they kind of fell asleep, right? And we talked about it last time. I mean, you guys watched it happen. Yep. And so, they kind of fell asleep, but now everything moves so rapidly. So we've moved all of our utility drivers. They're in India now out of a facility out there that we have. And Vietnam's now doing our flex. And we've got that, moved over there. And we're moving on doing the same thing with our modules into Vietnam. And then we're going to come out with a pro level modules that are going to do some things that the industry just, wants, but no one's doing it. So we're going to do that over actually in India. So it just seems like we're diversifying and moving things very quickly, but being part of the Berkshire Hathaway group, we can do that because we have tentacles everywhere across the world. So we can say, okay, who do we have manufacturing over here? But more importantly, who do we have that is quality control? So that's the big thing everyone knows us for is the engineering and quality control, good products. And if someone else is actually producing the product, usually about a third of what goes into that product is something we've engineered to go in, so it's ours. And we want to make sure that that's done properly. So it's always where we have a group. And so we only have 6,000 in India, from what I understand, as far as engineers. So, those are the kind of things we've been working on is how do we diversify? How do we break it out? How do we empower you guys to do what you're doing? Right. So at the end of the day, we love what you're doing, which is like, we want to be a place, if you hear about a brand and you want that brand, we're going to be able to sell that to you. One that you want. Of course, minus the ones that have been trying to dominate. So it's a mixed bag out there. Some people are like, I'm okay with everything going on. And about half of the rest of them are like, I hate everything that's going on, right? And everyone's ticked off. And so there's a lot of those conversations.
Depends on where you're at right now.
It does.
And the people that are stuck with no choices, they hate what's going on. The people that are still like right here, like in Chicago,
right.
They don't care what's going on because they still have a ton of choices. There's still all their options are there.
Interesting.
If you're in Denver, you got to figure out, hey, where am I going to get France?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's true.
Like you have to now buckle down, figure it out when there was 3 choices not too long ago.
And that's why what we did with you guys, I mean, we came to you and said, look, we have this idea. We're sick and tired of having our hands tied and you guys having your hands tied. Do you guys want to be part of our all access network? And you were like, well, hell yeah, because we just wanted them to be able to get a hold of the product. So even if they don't know about you guys and they order direct from us, quote unquote direct, we've all agreed upon a starting margin that's fair, that lets them be competitive and lets you guys make money so we all can be around to continue to serve them. And that's rare. No one, you know how many no's I heard? A lot of the big boys are like, get out of here. What are you crazy? And we're like, no, you don't understand. It's not about, we don't serve you. We together serve the end user. Correct. So how do we do that? Right. And you guys were one of the few that said, yep, we're in, let's take a look at it. And now we're talking about more stuff, right? And expanding. So it's like, yeah, let's figure this out.
Well, we are the smartest ones out there. I mean, without a doubt.
I've heard that.
We've talked to everybody else. We're definitely the smartest ones.
He said I heard that. He didn't say I agree with that. Did anyone else catch that?
Now, if we would have said that, he would have said, "Yeah, you're right."
His nose also grew a little bit.
Just one individual.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm just glad you can't see it.
Well, I couldn't see his face expression with these dang glasses on.
Right.
But it's funny, like going into this, right? And I didn't have any questions, and it's like this is same as last time, right? The questions I asked weren't even remotely what we talked about, but the last like few podcasts we've done have all kind of followed the same theme, not intentionally, right? It's not like I didn't even write any questions, right? So it just comes down to like us talking about like the partnership is what's going to matter with us moving forward. And what's been annoying, obviously, with tariffs, but has been a blessing is kind of what happened during COVID, where there was a bunch of people that were comfortable with the products they had. And then all of a sudden the price just goes through the roof and everyone's like, okay, let's look around. Right.
Yep.
And then it didn't even become necessarily a question of price. It just became a question of, well, while I'm looking, I might as well see what's the actual right fit for me. Right. Before it was, I should look because my price went up. And then it became, maybe I don't have the right product. Maybe I need to look a little further. So it's been cool because it's given us an opportunity to talk to a lot of people that before were like, I'm good. I don't need you. Like you can, I'm sure I'll look at it, but I'm not interested. We're
and
good
now
with
they're
what we
knocking
have.
at the door to say, hey, what do you have to offer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and the changes and compound that with the changes going on in the industry with limited options out there, limited distributors out there. It's kind of all coming to a head at the same time where there's just a bunch of people that are out there looking for something new, and we're trying to, 74 episodes of us saying like, hey, we're here. Like whatever you guys want to do, we'd love to show it to you, show you your options and give you everything that's available and not squeeze you into, 2 product lines. Right. So that's, I think, what we've done well with LEDs, especially in the last, 24 months, at least specifically. But it's been cool to kind of see it and see you guys kind of in the same ballpark as us, right? Where it's like, hey, this is our chance to grow. Let's push, right? This is going to be a good time for us.
Well, I'll ask you a question. How many products do you guys have that no one would look at and now they're looking at, right? Because of what you said. They're now going, well, wait a minute. I need to increase production and I don't want to hire someone, but I need to increase production, things of that nature. So that True Connect system, someone said it was ahead of its time because it's like track lighting for cabinets, right? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, everyone's like, okay, we want it. We're like, okay, well, what changed? Yeah. It's been here forever. What's changed? Well, here's what's changed. We need to add people. We don't want to add people. And you just showed us we can increase production 40%. So that's what's changed. But without the tariffs, we would have never had the opportunity because it got squeezed. Yeah. And I think that's the problem is a lot of people take a look at those kind of moves, tariffs and things of that nature and, COVID and all that. And they go, oh my God, the sky is falling. Yeah, it's tough, but diamonds are made out of pressure. Right. And so when you rise to the occasion,
I look so good. I'm always under pressure.
Well, yeah. Well, let me get my.
Looks like you could use some more pressure.
Look much better. You look great. You look awesome, actually.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and drink for my Coke here, homie.
Hey, cheers, homie.
Cheers, homie.
That's ridiculous. I don't know what's happening with this episode.
Well, one thing that I wanted to add about tariffs is that I noticed that a lot of manufacturers have different components in different regions of the country. And that's the issue that is really hurting the vendors. And I think is now they're starting, like you were mentioning, they're starting to consolidate certain components from here, instead of having 9 different components because it was cheaper to outsource all these components. So now they have to look at it as I can get these 5 components of the product here, and let's do 4 here and then 1 here now.
Right.
And the tariff has something to play with it.
Oh yeah.
But I think everybody's in the same boat that's why the tariffs are starting to hit certain manufacturers and vendors to make their increases in product. But I'm going to be honest with you, some of these increases are not that significant.
They're not.
When you're talking about a product that is, a module that's, I can't say the pricing, but it's cheap, it's not that significant.
And to be honest, if we're all in the same boat for the most part, with the exception of very few items. So they're going to go up a little bit, and at some point they're going to come back down a little bit. It's the nature of what's going on, and I think some of it's got to fight the fight now, or you fight the fight later. But it also keeps us all on our toes. We've gotten better at business since COVID, right? We've just been better at change, and when you're not good at change, those are the people that failed.
I think the biggest one that we had mentioned in a couple episodes, a few back, check your invoices.
Check every invoice.
I had a phone call the other day that said my tape was this, and now the tape is this. I go, that should not have gone up.
Right.
Yeah, ours didn't go up.
There's certain products that you really should be looking at,
and we're not playing the game as far as like, hey, I know we could get away with raising this price even though there's no tariff on it because everybody thinks there's a tariff on it.
Right. Yeah.
Like tape, and our tape didn't go up. If your tape went up, ours didn't.
Yeah.
So
well, and it depends on the category too. On top of it, just speaking from a manufacturing standpoint. So the first thing we did is, we have our bulletproof power supplies, but we were seeing a lot of people going towards the utility because they just want to load it 85%. So we moved the utility immediately because we're expanding that line a lot over to India to be able to do that quicker. Well, guess what? There's tariff, but we absorbed. So if you guys notice, there's no increase, right? So it's like, it's also category. And so you're right. It's smart. Check the dang on invoice. Look at it and let us know. And that's what we're here for. I'm surprised. This blows my mind. And it's definitely telling my age. Back in the day, just picked up the phone and said, hey, this doesn't look right. And now they just ignore it and they go somewhere else. So I'm going, guys, pick up the phone because we're human. We have systems and sometimes things get through we don't see. Just let us know.
Yeah.
Treat us like a partner. We'll be a partner. If you don't treat us like a partner, we're just a vendor.
Yeah. When you're our customer and there's a difference in invoice and you call us, we'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Like we'll tell you, hey, this is the increase we got. This is when we got it. We changed it on this date. Like that's just it's what it is. And we may absorb some. Sometimes we don't absorb some. It depends on what the product is,
and sometimes there's other
customer,
or it's a good customer.
Yeah. And sometimes it's another option they didn't even know was available. So I got a call right after everything started hitting, and they were all worried about it. Excuse me, because they needed a 24 volt, and they were like, "Look, I need this 24 volt, and I need it right away." And your other one is it's great, but it's over engineered in our opinion. It's too expensive. Da da da. I said, "Well, why don't you use one of our utility drivers?" Well, it's dimmable. I'm like, "Yeah, you cap it and don't use the channel." And they went, "Oh." I'll take a pallet.
Yeah.
He was like,
did you just call me an idiot?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
What's the nice way to say?
Yeah, nice.
Hey,
listen,
I don't think you're paying attention.
Did you? That's the
Mike
time.
is putting words in my mouth. I did not.
That's
say
the times where you just question what they say. So, what did you just ask me again? Just say it one more time.
Right.
Can I record it? Because I need some hits on TikTok.
It's like playing it back to them. Like, okay, you listen to this and you tell me what you would do. Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, and part of it, having a sign shop myself, you just get in that groove. And honestly, you go on autopilot. And a lot of the sign companies that I'm talking to are so scared. They're operating out of fear. And it's like, guys, stop. And the ones that aren't operating in fear, they're storing a lot of product. I'm going, okay, so you're operating out of fear and you guys are struggling. They're not, and they're flourishing. It's no different than if you look at your history and you go back to, the Great Depression and stuff. There was more millionaires made during that time than any other time in our history. Why? Because the ones that didn't operate out of fear took advantage of what was going on in the markets, and now look at them.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Exactly right.
Well, that's what we said about, some of the supplies. If we have it, buy it.
Yeah.
Stock up. That you got jobs that are coming up that you're going to continuously use it. Do it.
You're nervous about a price increase and there's a job coming up. Buy it.
Yeah.
It's really that simple sometimes.
And the smart buyers do. Some of my top clients, that's exactly what they did, is they bought it. But what's funny to me is how some of the competition we both have out there, we won't mention any names, but you can. They're like, hey, we stocked up, we've got no tariffs and this, and just sold them on no tariffs. So right after it all started happening, I get a phone call and say, look, I need these LEDs, and your competitor says there's no tariffs on theirs. And I just laughed and I said, for 2 months, because they stocked up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once it's gone.
Yeah.
It's going to get, and now it's kicking in right now. So I'm driving up here and I'm getting lit up. I'm like, hey, Scott, I need a price on this. Scott, I need a price on this. I'm like, oh, they must have hit.
Yeah.
They must have ran out of stock.
No, it's worse. It's worse than that. It didn't hit. They don't have any.
Right.
That's what we're getting calls on. Is I used to buy this product and it is back ordered for months.
Yeah.
And you're like,
maybe by the time, so we're recording this on June 10th.
Yeah.
Maybe by the time this airs on July what?
14th, 24th,
21.
21.
Middle of July.
They may be back in stock.
Yeah.
That's how long they're out of stock.
And then you'll know what we're talking about.
And then
All right, I already know
by
one
the
of the
time we
things-
do it, they're going to know what we're talking about. So anyways, with that, someone asked me like about the, there's obviously people we don't like in this industry. Well, we don't like what they did to us.
Yeah, right. That's fair.
And they said, what would be like your ultimate, like, what do you feel about competition like that? You don't want them to succeed.
Yeah.
Like what they did to us, I do not want. There's 2 companies out there that dropped us. I do not want them to succeed.
Yeah.
And we will do whatever we can to make them not succeed.
It's it's like the Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan mentality where in their head, like their enemies were greater than they actually were, right? Like they were going out of their way to make the person that they were against as horrible as they possibly could so that when they showed up, they were fully mentally prepared to win. That's basically what you're saying the mindset is.
Yes. Yeah. You
you're
got to go
at like, I want to win at any cost. Like that is my goal here.
Yep.
And I mean, you literally talked about in the last podcast, right? Like my goal isn't to make money. My goal is to win. Like, and what that looks like is very different from my goals to make money so I can sell out immediately,
It's like I told your dad, rattle a cage, see what happens.
Yeah.
Go ahead, put your fingers in the cage. Put your fingers in the cage.
That goes in the book. Write that down.
Yeah. Well, you think about it. There's different power, right? So, Grimco owns the buying power right now. They own the power
they're
as far as
dictating it.
with vendors, with the customers a little bit. They own all that power. However, there's different power. We own the social media power. So you can do stuff
Feels
to
like
us
it.
and you may lose some money, but you're going to lose in the long run because people are going to listen to this and they're not going to like you just based off like
What you're
we've
doing.
been sitting here telling the truth and this is what you did to us and you've done it to others and you become, from a very popular company to like, man, we ain't buying one of those anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get off subject here because, Scott's here.
Do
but
we have a subject?
Well, I'm going to say,
says Scott Cutcher.
we're on a
Well, you
vendor.
guys-
We're in a vendor tantrum right now. I found out that there was a couple of dealers that didn't get dropped, but we did,
Oh, we
and they
know
sold
that.
one printer.
We had a dealer sell one. We had a dealer that sold, I think, well, we shouldn't say it because they're going to know they called us now.
Oh, a few
But
printers.
we had a few dealers that sold way less than us that didn't get dropped, but we got dropped. And that's their strategic. We're not going to muddy it up. We're just going to drop the biggest threat is the
Exactly.
reality of it.
So if that
And
happens,
they can
Scott,
stick it.
Really, we're just trying to intimidate Scott.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing here.
Scott,
if you're thinking about dropping us,
Yeah.
But
We'll
actually-
roast you.
But hey, here's the problem though. We already know it went the other way.
It already went the other way.
oh, that's
Well,
right.
Well, you're gonna enjoy this. So I get a phone call from our buddies we're talking about, and they
Not our buddies.
He meant that,
No,
he meant
no.
that endearingly.
and
okay.
yes, very very endearly, and whatever that means.
Politically correct.
Yeah.
Homies.
And
Homies.
yeah, my homies called me. Yes, my homies
There you go,
called
your
me.
homie called
we
you.
are tight, and one essay. And when they called me, they're like, "We need to talk," and they're all serious about it. What they didn't know is we saw this coming for a year, and I had been strategically, along with France helping me do it, replacing that business with core clients and core accounts. So when they said, well, we're going to drop you completely, I was like, okay. There was silence, and he goes, "Did you hear what I said? We're going to, yeah, okay." He goes, "I don't, okay, all right then." I said, "When does it take effect?" And he told me the date. I said, "Okay, sounds good." He goes, "Wait a minute. What do you mean sounds good?" I said, "No, that sounds good. That's fine. We saw it coming. It's good." And the conversation was over. Then my phone lights up. And it's everyone that I know inside that organization that it wasn't originally inside that organization, if you know what I mean. So my buddies from Tube Light and stuff, they're like, "Hey, wait a minute. Did you just have a Yeah. And then you guys were kind enough to call immediately. Tony did. It was like, "Hey, we got your back. Don't worry about it." I said, "Tony, we're kind of covered." And when I told Tony, he starts laughing. And he was like, "We knew you were the right partner because we feel the same way." And I said, "Look, we'll just double down. We'll figure it out." And then that's when we came up over time with the all access that you guys are, helping to kind of push forward. So it's like, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we want people that align with our value system. That's what matters most to us.
That was our entire podcast yesterday. The entire one we did yesterday
Really?
was talking about align with his values. It was the guy that owns Laminate Core, and our values just line up. That's
Yep.
why we do such a good business together.
Yep.
We both have the same core values, and we talked about like some of these private equity companies, like
Oh,
they can't
he said the P&E word.
make
Yeah, you can't talk about that here.
He's
You're going to get me
in the
fired
group.
up.
He's
You
in
want
the
to see an angry midget? Keep going.
He's in the group. Put your fingers in
I
the
get
cage.
so ticked off because I love this industry and they're freaking ruining it.
Yep.
And I get really fired up
the
when we start
reality
talking
is
about
they
it.
can't make the most logical decision for the for
No.
the company. They have to make the business. They have to make the money decision.
Yes.
And that's where I said we're like, that's not us, because money's not motivating me. Winning is.
Like I told someone the other day, here's what you guys are missing when the P&Es get involved. I've been through so many buyouts. The reason I have my own firm is I kept getting, I would be with someone would buy us, and I'm out of a job. I'm like, I'm done with this crap. Even left the industry for a while because I was just done with it. And then I got sucked back in. And now I'm like, yes, this is great because the timing's perfect with what I'm doing. But whenever they get involved, what people don't understand is their job is to water down the chowder as far as the market will let them. So they will make it cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. I got the new Sloan module the other day, and I'm looking at that Prism mod, and I'm laughing because it literally looks like a Quick Mod 3. It's the same casing, lens may be a little, I'm laughing and I'm going, I told you guys, they're going to water down the chowder as far as they can until you push back and say enough. That's at the end of the day is what's going on. When the market finally goes, that's enough and pushes back, they'll stop watering it down, but they're going to water down to get the most money out of it. That's their job. More money, more money. Our new GM came from freaking Hubble Lighting because Daintree Capital bought his division. He's like, nope, I know what's going to happen. I'm out. So,
have you seen their new 24 volt?
Oh, it's beautiful.
You know what?
It's really highly efficient.
Listen,
It's weird. It's like
we
had that
like to
conversation.
say that
electrical guy saying it.
you made
That's
it.
even better.
You made it so bad you didn't put your name on it. That's how bad you made it.
It's the one.
It's the one.
It's the
It
one.
doesn't say like, hey, who makes this? Who knows? Well, why isn't it lit? I don't know. That's probably why their name's not on it.
It's an interesting choice. It's funny when we rolled out. You made the joke that we rolled out an LED with the slogan "whiter, brighter, and cheaper," and they said, "Well, they got like a couple of those right, but like it doesn't really work if you don't do all of them right."
Yeah, that's a 3-part has to go together.
Yeah,
you can't just pick, hey, mine's going to be cheaper.
If you can
okay,
pick-
it's gray.
It's cheaper. It's
But not
cheaper,
brighter.
dimmer, and bluer than the previous one.
Yep. So like, you can't just pick one. You have to have all three.
So, anyways, it's interesting but that's exactly what you're talking about, right? They are not making a product that is better for the sign industry. They're making a product that is cheaper. And that is kind of becoming more of a common theme where
Yes.
you're just getting another product that's like, hey, this one's cheaper than the last one we made. And you're like, great. Is it like any more efficient?
Well-
and I think we have people going the other way too with it, where like this is what we saw with like the green movement on it, right? Where everyone's like, oh, it's a green product, and you're like, great. Is it better? Is it cheaper? They're like, oh no, it's more expensive and it's not nearly as good as the previous one. You're like, okay, well, no, thank you. Like I don't need anything worse. And now we're getting like kind of a both, right? Where it's like greener and also slightly cheaper than the previous option. Like, okay, we're getting there, right?
Right.
But that's kind of what's happening with the LED market is you're like, okay, how about we just make them cheaper? And you're like, okay, will this work? No, not really.
I think a good example of this is, Rick sitting there with the Yetis. Yeti came out with a cup that's $35, right?
Yep.
And everybody's buying them. Stanley comes out with one, $35, $40. Everybody's buying them. Walmart originally came out with one that was like $9. Nobody bought it. And then they marked it up to like $30. Everybody bought it. So it's that thing. Like they want some quality.
Reverse. We're in the reverse in our
We're in the
industry.
reverse.
Yeah.
But at some point that thing will flip right back around.
Has to.
Like it always flips around. Like, cups are cheap. All of a sudden, like, hey, look at our quality, good one. Everybody bought them.
yeah.
And then someone said, well, I still got a cheap one. Everybody said, we don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And I think, what you're talking about with Sloan, right? That's the path they went on, right?
Yeah.
Was let's come in and make the best product that we can, right? And
yeah.
just take over everything, right? They
Yep.
gobbled up the whole industry. And then they're
their
like,
Prism without a doubt was probably one of the best ever.
and they're
Without-
like, okay, let's
without a
make a
doubt.
cheaper version. And now they've swung the entire other direction where everyone's like, why would I buy it? Like,
Because all the markets are doing that.
correct.
Yeah.
But now they're getting like, they've gone down that far where like a company that was, as big as they were is now like, essentially, from what we understand, when they were acquired last, was worth basically their weight in inventory is basically what they were worth at the time. So, and that all just comes down to, instead of making what was good for the sign industry, they were just making a cheaper product because that's what they thought the customers wanted. And the customers were like, no, we never asked for this. Like, we complained about your price increases, but that didn't mean we wanted a worse product than we had before. So it's just interesting to see how it's changing. I think still people are still asking for cheaper, and then complaining that it's not doing what they wanted it to do. And you say, okay, well you can't have.
Yeah. What's funny is I've converted 3 Hanley houses lately, and how I did it was I did a demo, and I said, "What are you struggling with?" And they all the same thing. It's spotting when I get too close. Just is. Okay. It's washing out my colors. All the things that a complete lineup like ours addresses. And it wasn't addressed. And I just started going through the demo and started showing them, and they were like, holy crap. How come no one told me about France? I'm like, ask your local distributor.
That wasn't in our. That was in the Midwest.
Was not in your area.
That was probably out west.
Yes. Yeah, that was not in your. And it was actually out west.
It was probably Montroy not doing it, or Reese.
No comment.
Dang fools.
No comment.
There you go.
No comment. Hi, Mike.
Sorry to interrupt you guys, but I just want to take a minute to talk about Nakusa, the name behind R-Tape. R-Tape's the #1 application tape out there, but they are more than just tape now. Nakusa has a full range of products out there. Their new one is called Nexbond. This is a UV cured adhesive. Why does that matter? It's an eco-friendly and durable option, but comparable to most of the eco-friendly options, this is a cost-effective product. So if you're looking for an eco-friendly product or a durable product, or just in general a good vinyl, Nexbond is going to be the one for you. This is available at wensco.com as well as all of their other products. So check it out at Wensco or reach out if you have any questions. Oh, and don't forget to use your Nakusa bucks. Have you heard about Metamark? Metamark is a company that sells premium graphic solutions for commercial and fleet signage. So whether that's walls or it's vehicles or it's tables or doors, we loved it so much we put it all over the podcast studio. So you can check it out on our videos or at wensco.com.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're frustrated because they're like, they want options, you know. And I was a fabricator for almost 20 years, and you were to tell me as a production manager, or even when I owned my own for a while there, that I had to do something a certain way, I'd have told you to go spit. Because what people don't understand is this industry is founded by craftsmen and artisans, and then business was wrapped around it.
We call it adults that do arts and crafts for a living.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I would rather do that all day long than sit in an office space, for sure. So, you know, it's very frustrating because they've forgotten that. And so you got some of the most rebellious people, and they're trying to make it into a business. At the end of the day, there's one question no one's asking: who do you serve? You've got to ask that question and be honest with yourself. Are you serving the shareholders? Or are you serving the end user that, if you do it well, will automatically or organically serve the shareholders? Mm-hmm. People just don't get that. You know, if you serve people well, the next one is, why do they still need to be served? Everyone's going after the same freaking people all the time. Yeah. I mean, I didn't stumble. A new distributor in Tennessee took me into somebody that does all of the backdrops for, you know, Prime and, you know, FX and all this stuff. And guess what? They're converting over to our stuff because it can do stuff that the cheap stuff they were doing can't do.
I just finished reading.
I said stuff like 20 times. Did you notice that?
Hey, that's okay.
Stuff.
My question right now is,
you have a lot of stuff.
I have lots.
Well, I was going to say, is there anything new coming out that we should be aware of?
There is, and let's just say stay tuned.
Okay.
Because, you know, that little module we were talking about, Prism? Yep. Mm-hmm. I happen to know the company that manufactured that, and they really like what we're doing. And our engineer teams are talking. So let's just leave it at that. Nice. So, yeah. So a Pro series of our LEDs that will less product and more output and higher efficiencies, along with some really interesting lens sets. It's on the horizon. Good. Along with light tape and some other cool stuff.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good addition with what's going on, right? I think, like I said, everything keeps getting cheaper, yeah. And something on the other end of that spectrum, I think, would be a good addition. The only problem with that is that somebody has to go out there and explain it. And currently,
that's me, right now.
But like I said, the industry keeps going cheaper, and that's from product and also from who they purchase it from, right?
Yep.
And then they're having that discussion. Okay, why didn't anyone explain it to me?
Right.
Well, because the company you're buying from is only selling on price, meaning they can't even afford to put reps on the road. So who is going to tell you about a new product? There's nobody left.
Well, I have to
keep doing it that way.
Yeah. You're going to have to read it.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to
Domingo will send you an email with the
I'll send you a
PDF.
PDF.
And nobody will read it. Our people, your
Nobody
people,
will
nobody
read it.
will read it.
No, I'll have to give you guys some kudos because when I was talking to Tony about coming up for the training and everything, I said, look, we can just go over product again, or we can actually have a real dialogue and talk about all the other things you're selling in LED line, how, you lead with a product like ours, and then you're able to vet things, and maybe we're not the right fit for this application, and you lead into all the other things you have. And you guys were the only ones that I've ever said that to that went, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, nope, we just want you to regurgitate a spec sheet for us and then tell us why we should be selling more.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, we had, so Metamark was on the table here, came in yesterday and, he was like, what'd you think of my presentation and the way he laid it out, which basically was like, here's the products you guys stock. Okay. And here's who they're for. And it's very unstructured, right? It's just product by product. Here it is.
Nice.
Here's what it's for. Here's who it is. And he's like, everyone was like, it didn't feel very structured. I was like, that's exactly what you need, right?
Yep.
That's what we need. You could go through and be like, yeah, MD5, it does all these awesome things. Here's the spec sheet. Here's how much you can stretch it. Here's how you can print it. Here's all the compatibility. Or you can say hey, here's the product. Here's who it's for. Very simple, right?
Yeah,
you
here's
walk
product,
into a shop.
Here's who it's for. Here's the other stuff they're buying that's the same. It's $100 less a roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's that stuff where I don't need every piece of information that's available for a product. I need to know who is this for.
Yeah.
That's what matters more than anything else.
Yeah, because you live with your customers, right? You know exactly what they're doing and how you want to expand their business. And if that product is just a portion of what they need, that's what you want to talk to them about so that they can grow that business.
Well, and the wattage and the lens angle, all that stuff, great. Okay, but how am I going to sell that to a customer? I'm not. I am going to sell them that it works better in shallow cabinets if you tell me that, but I'm not going to know, it's lower watts, wider lens angle. And they'd be like,
wait a minute.
What's that supposed to mean?
They don't care that it's 180 degrees, even though that, how in the heck does it go 180 degrees?
It doesn't.
No,
that's just where the lens is and where it can come out. How it comes out is the light pattern, and no one talks about that.
Yeah, it's 180.
No, it's
wait a
180
minute.
from the spec sheet.
The spec sheet says 180, but it's below the rim.
Yeah, it's below the rim.
It's below the rim. There's no way, even if you thought it can go out
We have the new 360. If you rotate it a lot, you can see it from all angles.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just marketing. Seriously, it's just marketing.
Does it come with one of those mirror balls that you can?
Because of rotisserie. It's the new Blackstone rotisserie.
Scott's got a new 360 module. It's actually just one module, and it's just on a stick, and it spins really fast.
Yeah,
you spin it on your finger.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hand crank.
Yeah, really fast. Absolutely.
There's a hamster in there spinning the modules over. You got to keep feeding him every few days.
Don't tell our secrets. Don't tell our secrets. Dang, on it.
But yeah, it's not what's on the spec sheet. I think that's going to sell the product. It's more like I need to know when I walk in what I can bring a value to the customer, right? And that's when you say it sales training, I think people are picturing it we're out here doing used car training, right? Be like, okay, well, if they have this objection, here's what you say. It's no,
those days are over.
Yeah, what we're trying to say is there's no way for you to know what's new and what you should do differently if someone doesn't come in and tell you or show you, right? And that's what we're trying to do. And that's what not a lot of other people are actively doing from everyone that we've talked to in the industry. So that's where what you're talking about is exactly what you're talking about, right? We want to know when we walk in, what can I tell them that's going to actually impact their business, right? Because in B2B, all we need to do is help you grow.
Right.
If you grow, we win.
That's it. So. Everyone wins, right? So it's not just that, but on top of it, where I've got my biggest wins, my approach is really weird. When I do a lunch and learn, people are like, so show us what you got. I'm like, no, we're going to eat stuff. I'm going to get to know who you are, what you're struggling with, and we're going to walk through your facility. And they go, why? I said, because if I don't understand how you're fabricating and how you're producing the product, I don't understand where your bottlenecks are. And then I'm just another guy puking product all over you, hoping that you buy something. I said, that's not what I do. My job is to come in and help you increase your production, have a better product, and make more money. That's my job. If I'm not doing that, I'm just a used car salesman, like you said, using word tracks. And dude, I used to sell Yellow Pages, so I know all the word tracks. I did all that stuff. That was one of the times I left for about a year. And yeah, it works for a moment, but the day of the Rouse salesman's over too. The 20 calls a day, Yeah, if you know what they need and you've done your analysis and you're actually adding value, absolutely. But the day of just getting in a car and driving and hitting everybody, it's over. I've had people literally tell me, "Do me a favor, Scott. I really like you coming to see me, but can we stretch it out?" So I started asking the question of, "How would you want me to communicate with you?" And that's the other thing. All that's changed. Yep. I do more Teams calls and team stuff when I'm off the road now than I've ever thought I would do. And so now I'm on the road with purpose, not just to be on the road to be on the road. And that's what's really changed since we talked last.
It's with a plan.
It
right?
is a strategy.
Your stops are, you have a strategy, you have a plan.
Yep.
And your plan has to be not just today. It has to be, okay, I'm going to see them on Tuesday. When am I going to see them again? What's my plan today?
Right.
What's my plan 2 Tuesdays from now?
Right. And that's why it's critical to find out their production, because then you can take those notes, right? And say, look, I can solve this problem right now, gain their interest, and then I can solve these down the road as they come up, right? Yep. And so now you have a strategy to call back again and again and have purpose with it. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but a customer really, we know they're busy, right? You know that they're busy. But those customers that want to increase their business, want to learn about what's out there, can be more profitable if they just listen to, can this really help me? Or, you know what, move along. I don't need you. I've been doing this for 10, 15 years, the same old way. But you're going to get those. But the ones that say, you know what, I am having difficulty doing this. Is there a solution? Maybe I'll ask that. Then they find out that maybe there is. That's when you come in and you say, okay, what about this?
Yep.
They're not thinking about this.
Yep.
They're looking at one problem. And and I think that's where I think a lot of owners need to really, it's like us. We have several processes in place. We look at one and we say, you know what? Does it work? Does it not work?
Yeah.
No, let's change it.
And there's times where, people come in to make us change, but like you're the poke the bear. When they poke the bear, then we're like, okay, we're going to be ultra focused on this thing.
Exactly.
Like, would we have, the United LED line right now if we didn't get poked? No, probably not. But like we got poked, and now we're like, okay. And even how much do we sell France? We're picking up on them too. Like we wouldn't be where we're at right now if they didn't stick their fingers in the cage.
Exactly. Well, and that's what I said. It's good.
Yeah.
It's right.
Good. Yeah.
We like it when they do stuff like that because it just motivates us.
Let's see where our flatbed sales go after Vanguard dropped us. Like, watch this happen, and watch what happens to the current Vanguard sales in inks. Like, let's just see where that goes, because we'll get motivated and we'll talk to those people nonstop until they're ready for another one.
Right.
And it won't be a Vanguard in the next one. Guaranteed.
Well, this is the point of the shameless plug. Their LEDs pair up really well with our power systems.
Yeah. So that's the beauty of the United is you can use your own power system. You can still be under warranty. And we love France. And sorry, I have to say Allenson too. We love Allenson too.
Mm-hmm. They're a good competitor.
Those are the two powerhouses in the power industry. Yep. Those, and you can power it up with either one. So nobody else does that. Everybody else uses that power supply as, what do we call it? Their warranty.
Yeah.
Like, how you buy a fan. You buy a fan and they're like, hey, we can warranty it for $7.95. Well, that's in principal's world. Hey, you can buy this bag for $70, and then you can buy this nice power supply for $47 when it's only about $12. So you're paying $17 or $15 as their warranty. So
that's how they pay for life of sign.
That's how they pay. Right. Yeah. That's how they pay for it. And where we hey, you can buy our modules for $50. There's a $70, and you can buy our power supply for $14, not $47.
I can't tell you how many times that I have to use this phrase. And I just can't help myself. You know what? I can crap in a box and put a warranty on it. But it's still a box of crap at the end of the day. I use that all the time from Tommy Boy. And I love that saying because it's really true. But on top of it, I got a call the other day and said, hey, what is your warranty and how does it work? So they wanted a big breakdown. And, I know my stuff. And I went, I've only had to use it 4 times in 5 years. And they went, what? I said, I don't know. Let me send it. I've only had to use it, and 2 of them was user error, and France still backed it up. So I don't know. What's the situation? Oh, we don't have one. So so why are you calling? Well, because so-and-so came in and said, blah, 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 and the warranty matters. I'm just like, if they're focusing on warranty, that should tell you everything you need to know about that company.
I mean, 90% of warranty claims are because customers are stupid.
That's on LEDs. That's definitely not true. 90% of them is power.
Yep.
Is all of them.
Yep. Absolutely.
And
Yes.
the other 10%
No.
could be customer error.
Yeah.
It's power, but it's normally because, hey, it says 60 watts. I can probably put 62 on there.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started on that either. Yes,
That's
mounting-
most of your power. Yeah.
Well.
Oh yeah,
but
and
they're efficient.
I use just the tape. Yeah, I
they're
use just the
efficient.
tape, and I never clean the back of the sign, and I put them up there. Now they're dangling.
Yeah. Look, I got polka dots. I don't understand. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
You know how you know a good LED module?
Why are the lights moving in the wind?
Take a 12-volt module, hook it up to a 24-volt power supply, and see if they turn on. Granted, it may be for like 12 minutes, but if they turn on in the first place, one, no, those suckers can take some power.
Mine
Two,
lasts an hour.
they're very, very bright.
Yes.
When you turn it
Very
on,
bright.
if you turn on your sign, you think, wow, that's a lot brighter than the last one I made. Think we might have messed something up
Yeah,
here.
absolutely might have messed something up. And it's going to get really bright till it's not.
Yep.
Right?
It's just going to go.
Pop, 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 pop.
We're just talking about a customer that,
Why don't they call these lightning?
another customer said
It's the new lightning modules from Principal. No.
he put up a sign, and then a week later, the customer called and was like, my sign doesn't turn on. And they're like, since when? They're like, I don't know if it ever turned on. Went out there, sure enough, 24-volt power supply, 12-volt modules. Those suckers just they bursted the whole line. It's like, well, at least you didn't have a fire.
Hey, you guys sent,
It's true.
you guys sent us the wrong power supply. No, it looks like Mr. Webb
Yeah.
ordered the wrong one.
Mr. Webb.
Mr. Webb.
Mr.
Can I
Webb,
speak to Mr. Webb, please? We don't have a Webb here. Somebody, whoever orders it, is Webb.
Yep.
Oh, that must have been, it must have been the website. That's weird. Weird if kids that wrong. But yeah, no, it's the warranty. If that's part of the conversation, it just doesn't come up very often. Like we talk about this with France. We talk about it with some of the other options.
Some of the other options.
But it's usually not nearly as big of an issue as people make it out to be.
No, it's not.
And-
If you know what you're doing, you don't.
Well, it's, even when it's like 5 years parts, 5-year
10-year
labor,
parts, 5 years labor.
10-year parts. Like, does it? I mean, how many parts do you have in that in the sign? You got 2 bags, so you're at $80, and you got 2 power supplies. You got another 24, so you're almost over $100 after 9 years, and you're going to file a claim. No, you're not. If you do file a claim, yeah, it's time to go out of business.
I will say, so you mentioned.
It's time to just close your doors and just pack it in.
I didn't even think about
You
this
think Koski's
before.
going to do that?
Yeah.
Koski's not. Koski
Koski's
won't.
just going to say, "Psh,
Yeah.
put it in. Let's go.
Send me a new power supply. Yeah.
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 But I never thought about what you said. If they talk about warranty, there's probably a reason for that. So when we had the other option in the market, one of our big customers, who's hopefully switching soon, I guess I'll look later, but they had a specific program set up with the manufacturer specifically for warranties because it happened frequently enough that they're like, if it happens, I need you to pay me X amount in labor to go and swap the power supplies out. They only had to do that because of how many times it happened.
Yeah.
I've never done that with anybody else.
They had a
ever.
big failure twice. That company had a failure twice. They had the 701-507 failure with Sloan, and then they had the big principal power supply failure.
Yeah.
So they got hit twice with 2 different brands that happen to now be under the same umbrella,
And they still were using them
and they were still using them probably
a few
until
weeks ago.
just recently. We're like, hey, you can use the France, which you used to use 20 years ago as with Neon.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same company. Like, oh, we
So-
can? Yes.
But I never thought about like if that's what their big push is, there's probably a reason for that, right?
Yeah.
Like with the other products we have out there, right? I'm not going out there and be like, oh, we really need to make sure we talk about warranty. Like it just doesn't happen. Like I don't ever have to deal with it. Nobody calls in is like, yeah, I had these modules.
We just
go
had that,
bad.
like it was a customer and he was wrapping cars and he said, what's the warranty? I said, why, you plan on putting it on wrong? Like the stuff's not going to fail. It's only going to fail if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
that is so good.
Sticky side down. Okay.
Right.
yeah. I mean, it's so simple. Like, just clean the car good.
Yeah.
And don't overstretch it. And you won't need to even call me for a warranty.
Yeah. It's true.
But if you do and you call me for a warranty, I'm going to know, hey, you didn't clean it good and you used too much heat. I'm still not going to pay you on that sucker.
Heat and
And we
mash.
just, even that, we just have so few. Like warranty is such a small part of, for us at Wensco at least. Like we have like just not that many that we need to deal with. And 90% of the time it is not a manufacturer error, right? And we're paying out on too many of them, but that's what we do. Like, that's why this matters, right? So before you even have the discussion on, hey, what's the warranty on this? Have a discussion of like, what happens if something goes wrong here, right? And I don't mean the warranty. I mean, like, what are you going to do if something goes wrong here? And nobody's having that discussion anywhere. LEDs, supplies, equipment, none of them. Nobody's asking if something goes wrong, what's the process here? Like, who deals with this? Because across the board for anyone else, it's on you, right? We're dealing with, I mean, on vinyl, it's an easy one, but we're dealing with wrap shops that are just like waiting 6 months for a return from whoever, right? Like, sure, they all have defects. At some point they'll get paid out, but they're having to deal with it when historically we've always dealt with it. And then we're like, oh, I didn't know this wasn't common practice. It makes sense for us, right? Like, well, you bought it from us, we'll take care of it. And the other distributors are saying, you bought it from us, but it's their product. You deal with it. And that doesn't make any sense to me. And it comes back to all what we were talking about earlier, is finding the right partners for you and your business. And that's Wensco finding the right partners, and then customers finding both of those right partners that know they're going to be someone to back them.
And it's knowing what they're going to do, right? So like, we know what France is going to cover, so we just immediately cover it. Yeah. Now France is going to go through their process and look at it, but we know what they're going to cover. Yeah. And so like, we cover it right away. And until recently, we had another good partner that used to like just cover us. Yep. And then they literally shorted us, and they'll probably listen to this, but I ain't gonna say who they are.
It's very nice of you.
They shorted us $3,000 that we had already credited the customer. And it's gonna turn out to cost them millions. Like, that $3,000 that we already gave the customers, it's gonna turn out to cost them millions. Yeah, because we lose faith in that customer. Like, they didn't do what they've been doing for 20 years or 15 years. Well,
Mike, you're talking a vendor.
A vendor.
Yeah, so not a customer.
Sorry, not a customer. A vendor. So a vendor, we had customers that they had issues. We covered it thinking this company's always covered us in the past.
Always covered us. Yep.
And so we were out about $6,000 total. And they said, oh, we'll cover half and you cover half. And I'm like, no, I'm like, I'll take it. But it's going to cost you millions, because we're going to start replacing your stuff with somebody else, because I can no longer trust you.
Mm-hmm. You know, the sheer restraint you just had, Mike, there's hope. There's hope for you. There is.
Hey,
I can't believe
my prayers are being answered.
I can't believe he didn't say
He's waiting for the live episode after this one to go.
So for Don. Yeah, I never said who that was. So it was nice.
They listen, and they know who they are.
There was a customer that I got in touch with, and he did ask me, is this going to end up on the podcast?
Seriously?
So this customer...
Here we go.
I'm not going to say his name.
Right. This is great.
This customer buys...
This customer...
Okay, you say
I'm not going to say their name.
You say the name, I'll beep at the same time.
No.
Oh, it was off. Sync was off.
He says it. Right, can you move that
beep a little bit? You got to move it up.
So this particular customer, I looked up they really needed help, right? And I look up their sales, and sales year to date were $250.
Nice. That's good.
I know him. I know this guy. Too. And he said, when can we be able to help? I said, in about $10,000. And then he goes, so he basically said, so it's about the money. I said, well, tell you what. I said, I know what you guys are doing in there. You're wrapping cars, right? Not with my material, but you're wrapping cars. You got a guy that's probably going to wrap $2,000 worth of vehicles today. Tell you what, take him, send him 5 hours over to here. I'll give him $6 and then send him back. And I said, are you going to do that? Or are you going to let him earn $2,000? He said, well, I'm probably going to keep him here. That's my same situation I got going on here. Yeah. Like, I have so many other people that are paying me $2,000. I'm not going to go to you to make $6,000. Yeah. Like, it's the reality of like, yeah, I want to help you, but you got to put something in my pocket too. But he goes, and then he's like, you're going to put this story on the podcast? Because when it was all said and done, we were perfectly fine. We helped him out. I got him fixed. He's up and running. But I was like, yeah, when he said,
this is going to end up on the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. He said, is this going to end up on the podcast? Yes, I won't say your name, but yeah, the story probably will end up on the podcast.
But
This podcast is sponsored by. No.
Yeah, but the reality
if
is,
you would like your car wrapped, go to.
yeah, we could push his car wrap business too, but I'm not going to. But yeah, he buys. I mean, we'll get him back. You know, we supposedly have something coming. So
Supposedly. Allegedly.
he does a lot of work, and not with us. So
Well, those are the things that, like helping some of the customers that I get. I don't really do technical work, and but I get called in, and it's just like I look up their history, and it just kind of just
Pub quizzes. What questions are they calling with?
Gerber. So
now you're going to point these people out.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
But
if you
no,
have
I
Gerber
look at the
questions-
history, and I immediately go, I'm going to help you, but you got to help us.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's so funny because there's such a trickle effect going on here, and I don't know if you guys even know it, or a domino effect. Is that manufacturers are saying the same thing about traditional distribution? It's like, let's look up how much you guys have ordered. Wait a minute,
Yep.
your bulk order was $6,000. Okay, and you're wanting us to do all these things and all these open houses and all, you know what I mean? So it gets to a point where you're like, you do have to balance. But that's the difference. I know I can pick up a phone, we can have a discussion and figure it out. I can't do that with most of them. If I pick it up, they're going to be, well, we'll drop you. Okay, it's $5,000. See ya. I can replace you going direct with one sign company or calling Winsco and go and ride with one of their people.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's this guy. Well, we just won't order from you. I didn't notice you were. Like it was a good conversation. It should have been recorded.
I didn't even notice.
I didn't even know you were. I'm like, you're 250. Like, that's why my fridge is empty. Like, want me to send you a picture of my fridge? It's empty.
Yeah.
I only have corn dogs, a little bit of cider, and some butter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like asking for a favor when it's like you don't even know the person, right? It'd be like me asking a stranger on the street. That's what it's like
Yeah,
for some of
pretty
these people
much.
where they think like, oh, I'm the customer so I can get it. And it'd be like me walking on the street and be like, hey, random person, can you help me move today? I got like lots of boxes and heavy stuff. And be like, why would I possibly help you move? Be like,
Right.
You should, right? Like we're both people. You should help me. And it's like, no, I'm not going to help some random person. That's what it's like.
What's
It's
the
like,
person look like?
Oh my gosh.
What?
She doesn't have a ponytail and she's not really cute. So
No, he's got Winsco on it, and his name is Mike.
Yeah, that's what they're asking. Wensco employees. We drive the vans around. We look like we move people for a living. That's probably why.
2 men in a truck.
well, we're about to break our, record from last time. I think we went the longest podcast. And so
We've done some over an hour now. We really have stepped up our game in the last
because I
year.
can go another 2 hours, but I have to train your people soon.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
What
right.
time
You
do
guys
you
ready?
start?
Yeah, 3. So we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I got.
we got
But I still have to.
All right, we got
but I have
45
to
minutes.
Load and set up.
All right. He's saying we got
Hurry up,
45 to
Scott,
go.
chop,
Hey, what's your vehicle? I'll have them unload. We'll do another 45 minutes. With them.
Hey, all right, let's do it.
But no, like seriously, this has been. I feel like we just had the same 3 podcasts in a row. Does that feel weird?
Yeah, like when these are played 1, 2, 3, like it's very
listened,
close.
Yeah, if you've listened to the last 3 in a row, you're going to be like, wow, this had a theme. Like Tyler must have we really orchestrated this. And then you look at my notes. I wrote nothing down for all of these. Like it's just like this is kind of what's going on in the
It's
industry.
top of mind. It's what's happening.
And everyone's feeling it, and we're all looking at it like, okay, what we need to do in the next, 12 months, what we're looking at here is we want to make sure 12 months from now, we are aligned with vendor, between customer, distributor, and vendor all need to be in alignment. And I think customers are going to find out that the people that have their back are going to be more important than it ever has been before. And vendors are going to find the same thing. They're going to say the distributors that we work with and partner with and spend our time actually helping sell is going to matter more than it ever has before. And we're trying to sit here and be like, hey, pick Winsco.
Well,
That's my goal.
I think it all boils down to one last thing, and then we can wrap it up, whatever you guys want to do. But to me, the central, you're talking about this theme, what it really boils down to is one of the questions I'm getting from what I call my intelligent users, the ones that really want to look at everything, system cost, all of it, right? Those are, and I'm not diminishing the other ones. They're just so busy. They don't have time to stop and really think things through. So they're asking this question, which is really interesting. And I think you guys are probably getting the same question. Why should I use that product, right? Why should I do that instead? Why should I switch to you? And my response is because we're going to be around another 100 years. It's not just about the product anymore. It's about their structure. It's about their future. It's about their legacy. It's about where are they going. I mean, you guys got us. It's set up to continue on and on and on. You know, you got your son here, 2, and it just three now. So I just,
we've always had 3. Tyler was the last one to come.
I didn't know that. For some reason,
4.
I'm the oldest
Sorry
and last
for
one here. Guys, before we leave today, I just wanted to ask you one quick question, and that is, what is a pirate's favorite application tape? R-tape. R-tape is the #1 application tape in the United States, and it comes with an RLA, which is a release liner adhesion, meaning it's going to stick to the liner. Even on cut graphics, if you roll it, it's not going to tunnel, wrinkle, or curl, or anything like that. So if you're looking for the best application tape for cut graphics out there, R-tape RLA is for you, and you can get it at wensco.com.
One thing that I do want to add in reference to what we talk about, I don't know if we want to wrap this up, but, you know, a lot of people talk about pricing. You know, right? Where Wensco's a little higher. But you have to look at what you're paying for.
Yeah.
Who's got your back?
Bingo.
Who's got loaners that are going to give you the machine? Who's going to send out technicians? That all comes into play.
Yep.
And they have to realize.
We a lot of times we're right there or we're very close
to what they're, exactly.
But there's a value to what you bring. I agree with you. So I just had this discussion too with somebody that was giving me crap. I helped them figure out something on a project. And then they call me back and play the game of, well, so-and-so came in and they can do it cheaper. And I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to send you a bill. I said, my going rate's $175 an hour for consulting. I start off with 3 hours, minimum 3 hours. I was there 12. What are you talking about? And he started getting mad. I said, no. I spent all this time, 32 years of experience in this industry, and you just got to tap into it for nothing just to buy my product. And it's a lousy 10% more. Are you serious? And I called him out on it. Mm-hmm. I mean, at the end of the day, it's ridiculous. Well, lo and behold, he got the other product. It's screwed up, and he comes, groveling back to me.
Yeah, at 20%.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's an a-hole fee of 20% tacked on.
Yep. We're not the only people that charge that.
No. My sign company literally was a line item that we added to the sign company. If someone was difficult, there was literally said a client fee. For a class client, yeah. It was an extra 20%.
I like that. We should add that.
Yeah.
There's a certain customer, so I'm gonna call it the K client.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm scared.
I don't know where he's going.
I'm scared.
Can we outro quick?
Yeah, let's do that.
Do we have anything to say? No,
I already said everything I need to say.
Really. Thanks, guys. And Scott, thanks for coming out here only to do the podcast. We appreciate you making the trip just for this.
Just for that.
It's
Absolutely.
really appreciated.
Thanks, Scott.
As always. I need people to help me move too. Remember, I bought another house, so I moved. So anybody willing to help me move?
Hey, but when this
look,
comes
I got
out,
a
you'll
thing
be
with
moved.
a guy at a place.
No,
maybe move. No, I won't be moved by then. I won't because they got at least 45 days after close. So
it's 45 days.
But
from
anyways,
now.
there's a fair amount of weight equipment that has to be moved. So anybody want to help?
I think I'm sick.
Come on,
that day.
No habla inglés.
You guys got any extra staff over there?
No, that would be a pro.
All right,
bye.
let's
See you next
wave this.
time.
See
Bye.
ya.